the principles that Jesus advocated, and there's great wisdom in the teachings of Jesus, and I agree with those teachings.
Elon Musk was speaking on a TV channel. Suddenly he started talking about Jesus Christ. When it came to hearing such things from the mouth of Elon Musk, it shocked the audience around the world. But then, something strange happened after talking about Jesus, and believe me, you would want to hear about it. Known for his groundbreaking work in technology and space exploration, Musk's unexpected inclination towards spiritual discussions left many people astonished and a bit shocked. After this broadcast, something unusual happened. Subscribe to the channel before delving deeper into it. Let's begin. Not much is known about Elon Musk and his personal life. He is a very public person, but unlike many people in his field of work, he prefers to keep his private things private and tries his best to stay away from the spotlight. Still, sometimes he keeps sharing something about himself and his beliefs, which makes people around the world interested in what he has to say. Elon is a bit of an enigma, and what he likes or dislikes is still a mystery to everyone. Elon Musk's views on religion and faith often confuse people. When it comes to religion and faith, many people think that a person like Elon Musk probably doesn't follow any religion and is possibly an atheist. He rarely talks about it, which makes most people think that faith isn't really a big deal for him. Therefore, this has made many people believe that he is either an atheist or at least an agnostic. In interviews, when questions about religion arise, Musk often responds with a sense of uncertainty, leaving his true beliefs shrouded in mystery. So, during a conversation with conservative commentator Ben Shapiro, he asked Musk a question: "Do you believe in God and religion?" Musk replied that he doesn't really believe in religion, but isn't a nihilist either. He is open to the idea of a higher power somewhere in the universe. Many people were quite disappointed with his answer, because they were just looking for a simple yes or no. People thought that he is such a big name in the science world, so he can deny the existence of God. Why are people so curious about what Elon Musk believes religiously? Well, it's pretty simple. Elon runs some of the biggest companies out there, like SpaceX and Tesla, which are totally changing the game and shaping our future. If we get a grip on his religious views and personal goals, it might help us understand why he makes certain choices with these companies and where they come from. Plus, it could make it easier for folks to wrap their heads around decisions that might otherwise seem a bit out there. Elon Musk has shared that he spent some time in religious places when he was younger, but he's pretty clear about not being religious in the usual way. Recently, he had a chat with some top execs after appearing on Babylon Bee, which is a satirical news show that loves to poke fun at politics in America, especially targeting liberal ideas. Elon tends to lean more conservative and seems to prefer traditional values over liberal free thought. He's been pretty vocal about pushing back against what he calls woke ideology and shows more of a classic viewpoint on things. The Babylon Bee interview was supposed to be all about the laughs and clever jokes, but it ended up being way more serious than anyone expected. It really dug into some big questions that fans of Musk have been curious about for ages. They covered everything from his business game plan and childhood to how he juggles work and life, and a bunch more during the 2-hour chat. The topic of religion didn't come up until the end, when Elon jokingly pointed out that since it's a Christian group, they were breaking the 10 Commandments by chilling on Sunday and being heathens for not going to church. The interviewers jokingly asked Elon if he'd be down to accept Christ as his Lord and Savior. He just laughed it off, but eventually gave a clear answer to the question that everyone's been curious about for a long time. Elon said he really liked the principles that Jesus stood for. He pointed out some of the teachings of Christ that he thought were pretty awesome, mentioning that there's a lot of wisdom in what Jesus taught. He specifically talked about ideas like turning the other cheek instead of an eye for an eye, saying that if we keep resorting to violence, we'd all end up blind. Elon has really put some thought into his views on religion and Christianity. He mentioned that he grew up in a pretty Christian household and went to church because his family wanted him to, but he never really thought much about religion back then. Now diving into business and science has made him start questioning bigger stuff in life. It turns out even Elon deals with the same big questions we all do, like, is there a God? Or what happens after we die? At the end of the day, no matter how much money you have, we're all human and share those same basic questions. Do these same questions about God and theology mean we all come from a similar background? It feels like most of us have way more questions than answers, but hey, these questions have been asked before, right? When Elon was pushed a bit more on this topic, he shared something Albert Einstein used to say whenever his students asked him if he believed in God. You know, Einstein, the guy who's often called the greatest physicist ever, he really changed the game with his theories on general relativity and helped us see space in a whole new way. Whenever people asked Einstein if he believed in God, he'd usually say, I believe in the God of Spinoza. Baruch Spinoza was one of the coolest thinkers of the 17th century, right up there with René Descartes. He had his own take on God, saying that if God was real, he wouldn't just be stuck in a few lines of a holy book or hanging out in cold stone temples. Spinoza thought that God was all around us, existing in everything, and you could see him in everyday stuff like sunrises, gentle breezes, and those moments of love and happiness we share with each other. So Elon isn't really sticking to a strict definition of faith. He mentioned, if Christ is out there saving people, then I don't mind. He also shared that he was baptized as a kid and grew up in the Anglican Church, so he picked up a lot of Christian values along the way. But can we really say that Elon is a full-on Christian now? It might be a bit early to make that call, so let's break down what he's said and see where it leads us. Elon doesn't really seem to be seeing Christ as his Lord and Savior, but he does appreciate Jesus for who he was as a person. It looks like he's taking a more laid-back approach to faith, trying to follow some Christian values without fully embracing the whole package. What Musk seems to be wrestling with isn't so much about Jesus himself, but more about the idea of Jesus as God. So what does Musk think about all this? Well, it seems like Elon is pretty straightforward on the matter. He recently chatted with Simon McCarthy-Jones, who's a psychology and neuropsychology professor. During the conversation, they brought up his views on Christianity and Jesus. Elon mentioned that he appreciates Christianity and its values, but he struggles with some of the main beliefs, like Jesus being divine, the resurrection, and how the world was created. Elon thinks of himself more as a cultural Christian than anything else. Basically, cultural Christianity is for people who grow up in Christian societies and get raised with those values. Just like how your language or ethnic background shapes you, a religious upbringing can influence you too, even if you don't really follow or believe in the main ideas of that religion. Elon has mentioned that he likes what Christianity has to offer, except for the whole salvation thing, because he's not really into the idea of divinity. Cultural Christianity is pretty much what most people are into these days. Even though Christianity is supposed to be the biggest religion in the world, a lot of folks probably vibe more with someone like Elon Musk than with their actual faith. A lot of people, thanks to how they were raised, might act like good Christians, but don't really believe in the whole thing. Business tycoons like Elon usually don't think much about faith or religion, but they still end up wrestling with the same big questions about life and death that everyone else does. Elon's comment about being a cultural Christian really gets you thinking. especially for folks in both faith and business. It highlights a trend where rich people, despite having loads of money, still feel pretty unfulfilled in their personal lives because cash doesn't guarantee happiness. Elon's thoughts on his faith also show he's changing his perspective. His remarks have left some in the tech world scratching their heads, since they suggest that mixing the ethical side of Christianity with science could lead to better results. You know, a lot of folks think it's weird to mix science and religion, like they're totally at odds with each other. But what people often forget is that science didn't just pop up from free thinkers and atheists. It actually started with the church. Science was like the church's way of trying to figure out the world God created, and a ton of early scientists were church leaders and scholars. So, the idea that science is against faith? Yeah, that's just not true. Elon has always said that if he had to pick a faith, he'd totally go with Christianity because of its moral and ethical values. It seems like the only thing holding him back from fully embracing Christianity is coming to grips with the idea that Christ is divine. He doesn't flat out deny that Christ is God. It feels more like he's just waiting for a personal moment that makes it clear to him that Christ is Lord. Let's hope that God guides Elon's heart so that when the time is right, he'll be ready to see Christ as both man and God. Elon Musk's beliefs about Jesus and the existence of God remain largely private, as he rarely discusses these topics in depth. When he does address questions about faith, his responses often reflect a blend of curiosity and skepticism, leaving many unsure of where he stands. While he has acknowledged the significance of various philosophical and spiritual concepts, he has not explicitly stated his beliefs regarding Jesus being God or his views on the existence of a higher power. In a world where science and religion often seem at odds, Musk represents a growing segment of society that navigates these complex waters. He frequently emphasizes the importance of empirical evidence and rational thought, characteristics that align more with a scientific approach than with traditional religious doctrines. This has led many to speculate that he may lean toward agnosticism or atheism, yet his occasional references to spiritual themes indicate that he is not entirely dismissive of the questions surrounding faith. The broader inquiry into whether God exists has been a topic of immense debate throughout history. Philosophers, theologians, and scientists have approached this question from various angles, leading to a rich tapestry of thought. Some argue for the existence of God through philosophical arguments, such as the cosmological and teleological arguments, which suggest that the complexity and order of the universe point to a divine creator. Others, like prominent atheists, assert that there is insufficient evidence to support the existence of a deity, favoring a naturalistic understanding of the universe. Research in this area has expanded significantly, especially with advancements in psychology and neuroscience. Studies exploring human spirituality and the brain reveal that belief in God or gods may be rooted in our evolutionary biology. Some research suggests that belief can provide psychological benefits, such as comfort during difficult times, fostering a sense of community, and promoting moral behavior. Additionally, surveys indicate that while many people identify with a specific religion, a significant portion expresses uncertainty about their beliefs, reflecting a complex landscape of spirituality in modern society. Ultimately, while Elon Musk's personal beliefs about Jesus and the existence of God remain largely ambiguous, the ongoing dialogue surrounding these topics highlights the intersection of faith, science, and philosophy. As humanity grapples with profound questions about existence, the conversation continues to evolve, inviting individuals to explore their own beliefs and the diverse perspectives that shape our understanding of the universe. Elon Musk's views on Jesus and the existence of God are intriguing yet ambiguous. While he has spoken publicly about various topics related to technology, innovation, and the future of humanity, his insights into spiritual matters are sparse. Musk seems to navigate the space between skepticism and curiosity, making it difficult to pin down his beliefs regarding Jesus as God or the nature of divinity itself. His occasional musings on spirituality often highlight a fascination with the mysteries of existence rather than a firm adherence to traditional religious frameworks. For instance, he has mentioned that he finds value in the ethical teachings associated with religious figures, including Jesus, but has not explicitly stated his belief in their divine nature. This nuanced perspective reflects a broader trend among many contemporary thinkers who grapple with faith in an increasingly secular world. The question of God's existence has been a perennial subject of inquiry across cultures and epochs. Philosophical arguments for God's existence, such as the moral argument, which posits that the presence of morality points to a higher moral lawgiver, continue to provoke thought and discussion. Conversely, notable atheists and skeptics argue that morality and meaning can arise independently of divine authority, suggesting that human experiences and societal structures shape ethical frameworks. Research into spirituality and belief systems has gained traction in recent years, particularly within the fields of psychology and neuroscience. Studies examining brain activity in response to spiritual experiences have revealed that feelings of transcendence or connection to a higher power often activate specific neural pathways. These findings suggest that spirituality might be an inherent aspect of the human condition, potentially tied to our evolutionary development. Furthermore, surveys conducted in various demographics indicate that a significant number of people identify as spiritual but not religious. This reflects a shift toward individual interpretations of faith that may include elements of traditional religions alongside personal beliefs. Many people today seek answers to life's big questions through a combination of science, philosophy, and spirituality, creating a more holistic view of existence. In essence, while Elon Musk's personal beliefs about Jesus and God remain largely undisclosed, they tap into a larger conversation about faith in the modern age. The interplay of spirituality, scientific inquiry, and philosophical exploration continues to challenge individuals to reconsider their beliefs, prompting them to seek a deeper understanding of themselves and the universe. This ongoing dialogue serves as a reminder that, regardless of one's stance on faith, the quest for meaning and understanding is a universal human experience. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you believe about faith and the intersection with technology? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.